on Amazon with those pictures. This last year, we've sold $16,000 worth of baskets. It was kind of our like, we don't know what we're doing. So we threw in the white box, and all of a sudden it was great. But we've seen a lot of our clients do it.
Yeah, y'all, I know this is tedious and annoying. It's important. You don't want to drive traffic to a product that people can't see. If you have, images that are sparse or that don't necessarily explain everything or don't show texture or don't show some of the functionality, I think you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Product media. You don't need to be a professional photographer. When John and I rolled up our little basket site, just for the examples, we bought a softbox on Amazon. What was that, $50?
Yeah, it was a little like I think 20-inch or like 25-inch by 25-inch box that has a LED light on top, and you crank it up and the whole thing glows, and then you can do different backgrounds. I don't know. I think they came out great. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
those images were
the lifestyle ones. That was Aaron.
Yeah, that
he
one.
put those in his living room.
Can you go to the product page?
Yeah. How do I do that?
There it is. No, that was. I think these are all his, but mine looked pretty much identical to that. Like it looked just like that.
Yeah, and y'all, this is an Amazon softbox that comes with the lighting and John's iPhone.
Yeah.
And Aaron did the guy who runs our Amazon channel for us. He did the same thing. It's Amazon purchased lighting in his iPhone. So I'm not telling you that these are the greatest images in the whole wide world. I'm just telling you that it's possible. Your smartphone, iPhones and Samsung Galaxy specifically do really well. Use a plain white background. You can buy a plain white background. The backdrops on Amazon, they're about $100. If you get the whole T frame, if you don't, it's like $20 just for the paper that you tape up.
And just as a side note, on Amazon with those pictures, this last year we've sold $16,000 worth of baskets.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, so there's a testament to, like, we're not just saying like, hey, you can kind of get, it can work. Like it worked pretty well. So just as a proof of concept, it was kind of our like, we don't know what we're doing. So we threw in the white box, and all of a sudden it was great. But we've seen a lot of our clients do it.
Yep. Nia says, I have several types of soft boxes, and the best picks end up being poster board and foam core in natural light. That's really good to know. Thank you for that, Nia. Wanda says, replica surfaces has great backdrops and has a ton of how-to videos. That's awesome. You'll notice here that we say, use daylight as your lighting. This is Yvonne's note, who does really well with photography. You don't need to go out and buy a bunch of lighting or a bunch of lights as long as you have the ability. Now you got to time it, but as long as you have the ability to capture that natural light. Don't zoom in, it pixelates. Don't use flash because it reflects. And then edit the photos if you can. If you can't, it's cheap. Go to Fiverr. There's a billion people on Fiverr. I bet you there are more people on Fiverr offering image editing services than any other single service. It's like what Fiverr was built for. So Fiverr gigs, there's also Pixie. I don't know what that is, but it looks good. Just know that this is available and accessible to you. What is it?
Yeah, I just found this tool today when I was doing the research, and they just offer bundles. Like you can open the price, and it's like $40 for 100 pictures or something like that, and they will change the color. They will do like everything. You can open, is there pricing or how it works too. So they remove the background, they change the color of the product, they will do whatever it takes. And you can scroll below. I believe there is bundles.
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
That's super cool.
So like $4 for image editing. This is decent.
Yeah, y'all, I know this is tedious and annoying. It's important. You don't want to drive traffic to a product that people can't see. You especially want people to be able to see details, features. It's the image that tells the story. So even though, and I've had this experience, I think we all have, even though the description says the thing does what it does, I need to see it. I need to see it because that's going to connect those dots for me. So if you have, images that are sparse or that don't necessarily explain everything or don't show texture or don't show some of the functionality, I think you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Can I share a site too? This is one of our clients. This is someone that I think does it really well. This is a client called. He was actually on our first 3 Shopify calls, our guest speaker. This one is obviously, kind of a beginning hero image, a lifestyle image. This is the pictures that they take at their house. So they don't have a professional photographer. One of the owners, she actually does all of these imagery herself and sends it to her daughter to edit them. So looks amazing. Like you're looking at these things, you're like, wow, these are great imagery. There's a theme. There's something that, when they hover over, there's lifestyle images here. These are actual real customers. But it looks amazing. But when you think about it, it's not that hard. They took some, I'm not sure exactly what that, I forgot what they call that plant, but they just peeled off a couple rose petals, set it aside, put it in on their table, then snap a picture of it and send it off for just kind of color matching. But you can see that this is done really, really well. Like, you feel confident in ordering from this place. And that's what's interesting, is everyone here has been to a site where they look at it and they're like, I don't know if this is like a lot of thought into this company. When you look at this one, like, they stacked some boxes and then they took a picture of it. But there's shadows there. Not everything's perfect. Some images are too small to read, but it doesn't matter. It looks good. And that's where people look and you look at this and you're like, it's colorful. And it looks like they put this in water and then took a picture of it. Not difficult stuff. You're not having, a $50,000 photographer come in and fly you to Bermuda and put it on a beach and just, getting creative with the imagery goes a long way. And in a show of hands or anything, a thumbs up or thumbs down, looking at this imagery here, does anybody feel comfortable buying one of these products? They look like they put some effort and some thought and some quality into their imagery that makes you feel comfortable by giving them your money. And if there's anybody here that says, no, I don't like it because of imagery, I'd like to know that. I really would. Don't be shy. It's not going to be like, you're wrong. I really want to know that. Because I'm not a very creative person. I'm a data-driven person, as you probably all can imagine. But this looks good to me. I'm like, yeah, that this took some care. I think that these people care about their products. That's what this tells me. They are proud and then they care about their products. So just wanted to give that as an example. It's not super difficult, but it is something that I think, in my opinion, needs to be done. If you're going to spend $200 on a 4-pack of shampoos, you want them to look good.
I think you hit the nail on the head, man, when you said inspire confidence. People want to be confident. Couple of good pro tips. Don says that Suna creates photos for $39 a pick if you want to outsource photography. That seems worth it depending on how many products you have. That's awesome. Mariana says, do you have recommended image size for Shopify products for the carousel? I don't like to upload images that are too big because of site speed, but they need to look good zoomed in. Is there a sweet spot? I don't know the answer to that. Yvonne, do you have any strong knee-jerk? I mean, it kind of depends on the theme, right?
1,000 by 1,000 usually goes good.
1,000 by 1,000
is good enough, because if you will have 500 by 500, it will look good on carousel, but once you open that, it will still be small, right? So usually, like the majority of the sites using 2000 pixel wide screens, not sites users. They use 2000 wide, so it's 1920, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so 1,000 will have a half of your screen once you open the image. So that's decent. If you will see that you lose quality, you can scale it up. Not the image that you scale down, but the original one. You can just use like 12 by 1200, for example.
And Robin, I do 72. I said 72.
Yeah. Tamika just said the value of the content covered in this course is immeasurable. This course is worth the investment. Thank you, Tamika. High fives.
Yeah.
We're only
I didn't mean to. Oh, sorry, we're all talking over each other. Sorry about this, everyone. Yvonne, I said 72 DPI just because 300 is print ready. Would you agree?
Oh, Yvonne just added in 72.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the standard for web is always 72. So for like auto editing, you will have 300 DPI and etc. etc. But for web, it's always 72.
Yeah, Nia's saying that she disables the zoom in her product images. I think it depends on the product. I think certain products, like, if you have a wool sweater, for instance, I really like to see the texture on something like that. But if you're selling a bottle of perfume, I don't think it's necessary.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I want to remind you that we provide done-for-you Google Ads services. We're the #1 ranked Google Ads agency on the planet with almost $100 million in ad spend under management. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, C-level exec, director of marketing, and you're managing your own Google Ads, I think that's a massively inefficient use of your time. As a matter of fact, in my experience, within 90 days, we're able to optimize existing campaigns to a point to where we're paying for ourselves. We move from being a cost center to a profit center, and I want to put my time and my money where my mouth is. If you're spending $10,000 a month or more in Google Ads, I want to offer you a free, no obligation action plan. A high-level member of my team, one of our strategists, will look at your account, open the hood, and do a full diagnostic and explain everything that we would recommend that you change in order to optimize your campaigns. You can take that, do it yourself. You can hand it to an internal member of your team, or in an ideal world, you can hire us. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Please go to sol8.com. That's SOL, the number 8.com. Request your free action plan. Until then, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Savita says, how many pictures per product is recommended or is optimal? Fashion, for
we
example.
we will have in the case studies, because I'm not sure if you mentioned that I prepared some great case studies.
Yeah, we've got some solid case studies, Savita, and that will include that as well.
You will see like there are some examples that Kasim maybe you will be able to open. Some of websites use not only images in the preview, but also video, like a GIF, and they upload this. So you see like image, and below you see like, I don't know, person moving in the sweater or whatever. So it gives you a feeling on the product better. And yeah, you will be able to share it later on.
Yeah,
But
I read a case study. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
usually it's about like 5, 7. This is like a good amount. It's not too much, like too few. Depends on how interesting is the product, because there's nothing interested about a coin if you will take like 10 images of that. There's 2 sides, that's it.
Yeah, Osama said the same thing. No more than 7 product images, depending on research in human psychology. I agree with that. I think 5 to 7 is a really good sweet spot. I read a case study recently that was really interesting. There was an article from Time magazine that said that a human being has less of an attention span than a goldfish. A goldfish has an 8-second attention span, and a human has a 7-second attention span, which automatically is depressing. But what they started to do is somebody, and I wish I could remember gosh, it might have been Search Engine Journal. I wish I could remember who it was so I could cite them properly. But they started to play with how to improve or increase somebody's time on site or attention on site. And one of the things is what Yvonne just said. If there's any motion in your gallery, if there's any motion, it kind of resets that clock briefly. And so you get another couple of seconds out of somebody, because they're going to take the same, you have 7 seconds for them to qualify you as a solution, potentially, when they land on the page. But if you can show them motion, so a GIF or a video, that motion will be its own 7-second clock. And so you can double the potential time on site by providing motion. Now, here's where things get interesting. I don't anticipate that lasting forever. What ends up happening in the realm of digital marketing is the new thing becomes the ubiquitous truth, and then we all back into it because we're used to it. So, there was this old HubSpot statistic that used to infuriate me. They said that if you use the word watch in the subject line, it increases your open rate by XX%. Well, that only works until everybody does it, and then we're all used to that term being used. So be careful about some of these pro tips, but I do think that using videos and GIFs, especially those that can play automatically, any amount of motion on that page can be really helpful. Lots of chat. Give me just a second. Square Up has a photo studio, which is great. That's awesome. Good link for that, Wanda. Thank you. Robin does 2 body size images, small and plus size. 7 on one product or 7 for each. I think if it's the same product, Robin, and the sizes are changing, I think you can have 7 total. That's my soft opinion. John, agree, disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a measurable impact on too many images.
Yeah.
So, if you're getting great images and you have, front, side, back, on people, off people, whatever it may be, I say that, err to the more images than less. But I would say that it's not. I haven't seen, a person that has a slideshow with tons of images that it hasn't worked. Comes to mind. They have a lot of lifestyle images and product images on their pages, and it works really well. It's 400% ROAS for going on 2 years now. And so.
Oh, he was just in a Netflix movie. He was in, what was it, Yvonne? He was in the
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Yeah.
His hat was featured there. But another
we got him that.
What's that?
I like to think that we got him that.
It was all us. Yeah, no. I'll share my screen here. This is a company called, this is who we market for. And they have this cool here. And what we saw was using live chat. People were saying, can I open my beer on these notches? And that was the common misconception, because there was hats out there that have beer bottle openers on their hat and you can pop open a beer on them. And so what we did is he created this image here, and this is what their value proposition is. It doesn't interfere with your sunglasses. And so using a close-up of the to show that it's leather stitched, and then showing the functionality of it was really cool. So that when you looked at their main product image, you see the sunglasses and the hat. This is it was driven towards people that are like outdoors and more tactical type of people. And so like hunters and shooters have to wear safety goggles or safety glasses. They use these hats right here so that it doesn't interfere with their glasses. But again, it was just a lot of imagery to explain the features was something that helped a lot in their business. So if you have a product that takes a little bit more explanation, pictures are great. Again, like I said, with, same thing with Google is, we want to speak to these people on a lower level initially, just because they might be half paying attention. So a picture showing, here's how this works. Oh, okay, now I got it. It was surprising how many people didn't know that. What's that?
That's my next slide.
Hey.
Lifestyle images, critical prerequisite for smart shopping. And I want to explain that just briefly. Smart shopping it's outbound. So if somebody's searching for a product, they know what they're searching for. I think it was Robin that I picked on previously. Robin had like a bath bomb or something, that if I'm searching for bath bombs, it made a ton of sense. But if I just saw this image in my, in a display ad somewhere, it looked like a germ or like a disease, like it was spiky and I had no idea what it was. And so you want to make sure that you've got like, I don't know, what mom with little kid in the bath about to drop in the bath bomb or whatever. You want to contextualize the product. Even if they know what it is, they're not in the zone looking for it. This is outbound. So we need to capture their attention. And I say this all the time. You all will hear me say it ad nauseum, but there's a reason that if you walk through any shopping mall in the world, all you see are a bunch of pretty people looking at you, making eye contact, even if they're not necessarily using the product. What's that weird, there's a shop in Fashion Square, John, that has the specialty espressos. George Clooney endorses them. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So Nespresso, here's what's insane. Okay. There's no coffee on the billboard. It's just Clooney. And then in the background, out of focus, is the coffee machine. That's how important this is. George Clooney sells more Nespresso than Nespresso does. Now, you don't necessarily need to go get George Clooney. If you do, I want to meet him. But we want to take a person who's making eye contact. There's a dopamine receptor in your brain that fires every single time a human being makes eye contact with you, and you want to capitalize on the psychology there. So get lifestyle images. You can get them from your Instagram feed if you want to. Here's a really amazing pro tip is you can send them to influencers. There's this whole body of people that are trying to be influencers. Me and John are two of them. There's this whole body of people that want to be famous. They're not yet. And they'll do anything. It's insane what people will do for attention. It's unbelievable. So if you can find that person that has 5,000 Instagram followers, it's not a small amount. It's not nothing, but it's also not like famous. If you send them a free product, it's unbelievable what they're willing to do for you. So now they're promoting it and they do the open box and, they shoot themselves wearing it. And you just got a whole bunch of lifestyle images from somebody who's a pseudo influencer and you got that for free. So I'd strongly recommend if your product is applicable, go find an influencer that you think might be cross applicable for it. And the influencers that have yet to reach critical mass, they're a gold mine because it's not going to cost you anything. They're just thrilled and happy to be involved.
And if you can get them to also do a video for their YouTube channel that you're also allowed to run ads to for your store, we do that quite often with our clients. They'll hire an influencer. The influencer will get the product. They'll do a 20-minute review on that product. They'll place it on their own YouTube channel and their own social media so that they get their commissions. But the prerequisite of that influencer doing that video and being allowed to sell that product was we also would like to have the ability to run an ad with that product with that video to our website. Now, it won't be found organically. It won't be. Most of the time, what they said is it's not going to be organically found. So it's not going to be posted on their YouTube channel. It's not going to be posted on their social media, but they would run an ad on YouTube for that video, and that drives traffic to their own pages.
How do you ensure that they follow through if they don't make the purchase and you send them a free product? You don't, Tamika. You're going to have some drop off. There's some folks out there that are just, kind of funky or shady. Or to be honest with you, some of them might not like it. Like we had a company reach out to us who now I can't name, and they wanted us to help promote their software, which is specifically built around Google Ads. Well, we tested their software, and not only it was supposed to improve performance in some way, not only did it not improve performance, it actually hurt performance. We tested on 5 campaigns and 3 of the campaigns were hurt. That's the risk that they ran in reaching out to us. Now I'm a good dude, so I'm not going to go blast them on my YouTube channel. But that could have been a flip side. I could be, hey, I tested this software and here's what happened. YouTube overview of your product is a really good thing to have too. This is helpful for people that are really, first of all, we live in the age of the educated consumer. So you have people that are doing 90-minute research on $5 and $10 purchases. It's weird, but it happens. And so you want to make sure that you give them the opportunity to do that. And
one thing, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
I was just going to say videos are one of the best ways to do it because now it's like, they get to see it, feel it, touch it sort of before they do that.
we've all been there, I'm sure. You purchase the $1,000 iPhone, but before you buy the $1.99 app, you look at the reviews.
Yeah, it's
So-
unreal.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Gads Girls. I'm one of your many hosts, and by many, I mean 3. My name's Mel, and joining me today, we have client manager team lead Andrew with us.
Hello, YouTube.
So
Happy to be here.
I'm really excited about today's topic.